week, doing a great day. And today you are creating with Colleen. My name is Colleen Magnus, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm going to share a fun card with you today. So, life is good here in Chesapeake, Virginia. I hope you are all doing well. We had our bingo event this past Friday on the 20th, and it was a sold-out show. We gave away over $1,000 in prizes, and it was a great time. And I think one of the really cool things is we give an extra door prize ticket if when you bring your potluck dish, you bring a recipe. And oh my goodness, we are eating like royalty. We're going to have to start making a bingo Stampin' Up! Cookbook because there are so many good cooks that joined us Friday night, and it really was a lot of fun. So today I am going to be showing you the card that we made, since it won't be a spoiler alert, but if you were there, don't fret, I'm changing it. I'm going to show you a different way to do this card. In a different fold, and also in a different way of doing the Christmas tree. So as I said, life is good here in Chesapeake. It's a little gloomy today. The week's kind of been that way, and the tides have been high. Where I live, I'm on the Elizabeth River, and although we're in the center of the neighborhood, we're surrounded by water. So you have one street that comes into the neighborhood, and of course, that's where it floods. So now living back here for 43 years, it's not a problem because you learn to work your tides. You know, check your time that the high tide is, and you decide right then and there if you want to be in the neighborhood or out of the neighborhood. Because it does make a difference unless you want to tread through the water, which I have done before. So hopefully tomorrow, life is short. I've been trying to get together with my dear friend Sally Wood for coffee. We're meeting tomorrow. So when I say I'll see you if the sun is shining and the creek don't rise, I really do mean that because you have to swim out of here. So anyways, yesterday was supposed to be the last high tide. Thank you, Lord. And we should be able to come and go as we please now. So I am going to boot up. Let me click on here and I'm going to see who's on. We'll just say hello for a minute and then we're going to start this card because it really is a fun card. Hold on. All right. Move my stand. Here we go. Put lotion on my hands right before I started and everything is slippery. Oh, and I did not put, all right, y'all gonna hold on one second. Y'all know it's live. I did not put my candle down to hold my stand. There we go. Apparently my phone's a little heavier than it's supposed to be. And my stand will tilt, and I don't want that. Okay, there we go. It looks good from the top. Let's see how it looks down here. So Diane, hello, glad to see you. Hey, Susan, glad you're here today. And Mary, nice fall day in Indiana. Next week, I think, is looking better for us, but still just a little dreary. Hey, Miss Gwen from North Carolina, and Debbie from Ontario, Canada. Thank you, Deb, for joining us, and hi, Mary. So as others come in, let me turn my other light on. I want to show you this card. So I use a couple different bundles with this card, and it's really fun. So this was our bingo card that we made at bingo. And let's see. Hey, Bran and Barbara. So in the bingo card, I used the Take a Bow Designer Series paper, and it's actually a Z-fold. So all a Z-fold is if you just took a normal card, you folded it in half, and then just split that front piece, just fold it back, you got a Z-fold. But the technique that I showed them here was that if you take strips, they're half-inch strips of the Designer Series paper, and you cover a piece of cardstock, and then you can take any open die, whether it's an ornament, a tree, what have you, and you just put your die in there and cut it out. And that's what gives you this tree. So this was a different one here, but I think this was the original. So you could do it diagonally so that your stripes are diagonal. You can tilt it just a little bit like this, or you can just do straight on like we did here. So when you're thinking of this, keep in mind you could use washi tape if you have it, but all those little pieces of Designer Series paper strips that you have work awesome. So then I had made a card similar, but different. How do you like that? So with this card, it opens this way, just like that. But what I did here is I inset the Christmas tree. So here I actually took the die and I cut the die out of the white piece of paper, and then I put the strip behind it. So it's a little bit different. So here I actually cut the strip like that. Oh, it'd help if I turn my light back over here again. Hopefully that helps you some. But here, again, we cut the tree, and then in this one, the tree is set back. So when I had this card, I was kind of like, well, it's kind of like last week. Last week I showed you a card. I'll take the names off. I'll surprise you in a minute who won what. But last week I had showed you how I made a card with the autumn scrapbook kit paper, and it opened like this. But if I, instead of scoring here, if I cut that, I could then make it into a window sheet card, which I did last week. And it opens like this. So exact same measurements, but here it was scored, and here it was, and then here it was cut. So that's kind of what I'm doing today. And while I have these out, because I don't want to forget, Debbie Marcunas, you won this card. So if you will private message me your address, I'd be happy to drop that in the mail. And Linda Lace, you have one more week to claim your card. You got the Bountiful Blessings card. I always try to save that for the end, and then I forget, and then I feel like a heel, so I can't do that. So I'm going to make this into a gift card. And the way I'm going to end up doing that is when I, instead of cutting here, it's the same measurement, but instead of cutting, I'm going to score. I haven't made it yet. Y'all see it when I do it. And then that will fold over in the middle to where I can slide a gift card in. So let me show you. Let's get started here. So for your measurements, I have things all over. Let me see. Lots of little moving pieces. So let me get them out here. Okay. So you are going to need a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of garden green. And we are going to score it at 5 1/2 and then score at 9 1/2. For this card, you would have cut it. So 5 1/2, and then we're going to score at 9 1/2 because that's 11 inches long. For this piece here, that's 4 1/4 by 4-inch basic white, 3 1/2 by 4-inch of real red, 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 basic white, and we're going to cut first and emboss this. I'll explain that to you why when we do it. Now this piece is optional, but I thought I would try it anyways. 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. Your scrap piece, that is 3 by 3 1/2. Wait, there's more. You're going to need this little star. I'm going to put that right here on my computer so I can find it. You are going to need this strip of early espresso, and that's just a strip 3/8 inch wide. In the dies, in the tree dies, they do have a little tree trunk, but again, I don't do tiny well, so I could put that on there, but I'm going to show you that's easy too. Then you are going to need 7 strips. Look at all these little strips. 7 strips that are 1/2 inch by 3 inch of the Take a Bow Designer Series paper. So you can do your screenshot. I have also taken a picture to put on my Facebook page, and I'll try to do it sooner. I'd always do it before the next live, but I'll try to get it on there a little bit quicker this time. So go ahead and take your screenshot. So Barbara from California, hello. Miss Bren, hello. Debbie, she likes the colors in the DSP. She has a DSP, but have not used it yet. Debbie, you're going to fall in love with the Designer Series paper. I know there's really cool different Christmas colors, but there's just something about the traditional red, excuse me, and garden green that are just beautiful. And hey, Mary Kay, Drury, Maryland. Yeah, you and I kind of get the same type weather when we get it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will do it a little bit different this time. Oh, and one more thing you're going to need. You're going to need a gift card with your name here. Not my name, but your name. Because we are making this into a gift card holder. So first, let's go ahead and tackle the tree. So I told you needed that 3 by 3 1/2 inch scrap of white. So I'm just going to turn that over. And then I'm going to need my 7 strips of paper. And you can kind of be here all day trying to figure out the way you want to lay them out. I'm going to just kind of look at my sample to take the guesswork out. There we go. I think that can work. Nope, that can work. So I could put glue on each one of these and put them on here, but honestly, I found it easier if I would just take my Stamp and Seal, and I'm just going to go around all the edges. I'm going to make an X, and then in the middle. So kind of like a star on there, and that's going to hold, I believe, pretty much everything. Let's just make sure. Hello, got a little abusive there. Okay, so now you're just going to take these, and I really should, I need like a darker, let me take this. You can see it better and I can see it better. So here I'm just going to take these and put them across the top. And it doesn't have to be, they have to meet in the middle, but as far as the sides go, you're cutting from the middle, so it doesn't really matter if it's completely even on the edges or not. I'm going to go down, or even if you get a little bit crooked when you're coming in. They're all things that nobody's going to notice. But see how much quicker it is if you go ahead and put your adhesive down first? I just think it makes it nice and easy. Okay. So here I have my piece. And this is, since I'm doing it opposite, this is going to go underneath here. So I'm really only going to see what's in the middle. So with that piece, that is the 3 1/4 by 3 3/4 basic white. And you want to cut this first and then emboss it. Because if you don't, when you put it through, if you emboss it first and then you put it through to cut it, you're going to push down all of your beautiful texture. That's going to make you sad. And that's experience talking. So let me show you how it's done. You will just take our die cutting machine. I'm going to open it up. And you will take the #1 base plate, the #2 die plate, and then your 2 acrylic plates. Because again, we're cutting first. So there's one. I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to take my open die. I'm also going to grab a Post-it note, because I really don't want this to shift at all. So when you do this, you want to make it to where you're more vertical at the top there. So I'll just put this in the middle. This isn't real sticky, but hopefully it'll stick enough. If not, I got a good sample to show you if I mess anything up. You always have to have that. So I'll just put this on here. Take my other acrylic plate, go on top. Don't you love a new acrylic plate? Look how pretty they are. They just don't stay pretty for long. Then I will just run this through. And with that, I've cut the tree out. So now I want to go ahead and emboss it. So to emboss, I'm just using my #1 base plate. I am using the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. I find anything Christmassy, I'm using this. I love it, although I do love the new plaid one too. And I am going to, let me see. I think I want more. If you look at the plate, it's less snowflakes here, more up there. I want it to be more at the top. It's snow and heavy at the top and lighter at the bottom. I'm also going to line it up. Let me get it in my eyes. See how I line it up on that line? Again, I don't think it matters too much with the snowflakes, but if you had something symmetrical, that's the way you would want to do it. Always put it in with your binding side first. And then this is the 3D embossing plate. Put that on. Roll it through. Feels like butter. And then, when you take it off, you have this beautiful embossed tree. So I'll put that here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, eventually I will put this over it. And if I want to just go straight, I'll do that. If you want, you can even tilt it. And when you do, you would just kind of cut off your strips. I kind of like it that way though. I do kind of like it straight. So what I'll do is I'll take the red piece, 3.5 by 4 piece of real red. And I'm going to take this, and again, I don't have to be too careful where I'm putting it because the edges will be covered. But I'll put it in like such. And again, don't push it down till it's where you want it. Then when I put this on there, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that. Just a little bit. There we go. So I can push that down. And then when I put this on, I am going to put it on with dimensionals, because that's what's going to give me that window. Oh, Steph has a conference call. Well, sadly, work does come first, Steph, so I'm glad you will watch the replay. Let me see. Oh, the sun's starting to try to come out for a little bit. I like that. So I'm going to use quite a lot of these, not a ton, but I just want to make sure this all stands up really well. And I can even throw a couple of the little ones in there. So when they're your own dimensionals, you can use as many as you want. Okay, I think one more there. It's addicting. Okay, one more here. There we go. There's a ton in a pack. So again, they're inexpensive. You could use as many as you want. I just want to make sure that this tree stands up tall and the window is nice and above my stripes. So you just peel all these little pieces off. Okay. So let me see. And then I'll just line it up on here. Get it nice and straight, because this would be hard to pull up. And that is how you make the window for your tree. Barbara said she may be casing this during her week of crafting later this week. I hope you get to craft later this week, Barbara. And thank you. I would be honored if you cased it. It's a compliment, really. Melinda from West Virginia, hello. Mary, the DSP that I'm using is called Take a Bow. And it is a 6x6. It's what we used at Bingo when we did this. But it is a 6x6 pack, so you get 48 gorgeous sheets in there. Oh, hey, Robin's actually watching today. Hey, Robin, you must not be out running today. That's good. All righty. So for my card base, I'm going to, actually, no, let's just go ahead and finish this now. As I said, for the tree stump, it's up to you. For my Christmas tree, you can decide how long you want it. To me, it was just easier to use a little bit of a strip. Let's see what that looks like. So when I put it on here, no, I want it even smaller. I told you, small doesn't do as well. So actually, I was going to put it on like this. And so the little piece that actually comes in the dies really does work perfect for it. And I think, what do I want to use? Maybe I'll try, I wasn't going to use liquid glue, but let me see. Because actually, for the star, I'll use this because really the Stampin' Seal is really strong. A glue dot would also work. So here I've got my piece there. And then while I have it handy, I will go ahead and put the star on. The star is also in the dies. In fact, I haven't showed you the product, so let me just real quick put these over here. These are, I got them behind me. Okay, so this is the Decorative Tree stamp set, and it's a great stamp set right there. And it was from Daniela Gundlach. So this was a $1 Million Achiever stamp set. She sold her $1 million, and this was the bundle that she created. So I love that they're letting demonstrators do that. Who better to create the artwork? And then here, these are the Decorative Trees dies. So I absolutely love the dies because there's so many different patterns you can make from them. This is what I'm using, the open tree, but you can layer this upon here and get a whole different look. That's what I did here. I cut this out of the, this is a video I did last week, and I cut this with a Sizzix window sheet so it would stick, and out of our glitter paper. So that's what it looks like when you put those two together. But you have swirlies, you have holly, plaid, the dots, all kinds of dots. And then what I love is with these little bows, you know how people like to have a Christmas tree with those pretty red bows on them? This is all one die. So you're cutting 6 bows at a time, or you're cutting 3 ornaments at a time. And then this is garland that goes on your tree. So it really is a nice bundle. I like it a lot. So here we have this. This is complete, and I'm just going to go ahead and set it aside. Now for the card, I was telling you, if you wanted it, let me find where my card is here. If you wanted it as a card like this, then you would just want, this is 4 1/4 by 11. I'm going to score it at 5 1/2 and 9 1/2. If you wanted it just to be a card where it's not a gift card but opens like this, then your piece is actually going to be 4 1/4 by 9 1/2. And then you'll just score it at 5 1/2. I guess you would score it this way, 5 1/2. So you don't have the extra. But what I'll do is I'll take my scoring. Hey, Terry. Hey, Judith. Glad you're here. Let me see. So here, when I take my paper, put your cutting blade out of the way, I have to open this up because I am going to go to 9 1/2. I will score it. Come to 5 1/2 right there. Take my scoring blade. And then 9 1/2. So there's my 9 1/2 for each there. And by doing that, when I fold this now, I'm going to fold on my 5 1/2. Give it a nice crease. Then you're going to fold this in. Where the other one was cut, you're going to fold this in. And so when I open it, that's where my gift card is going to slide in. So you kind of want to have a little something there to get your fingers on your gift card. So I'm taking the heartfelt hexagon punch, and I'm just going to kind of slide it in. And I'm just going to eye this. But this, at least, when I do my gift card, this will at least let it slide in. Where is my American Express? Here we go. It's going to slide in like this. So you're really only going to want to glue the top and the bottom. So I'm going to finish this first, and I'm going to tape that because I might put a piece of white paper behind there and stamp it. Trying to see how I like that. So for this, I am going to, you kind of want to have it in here so you can see where it's at, or you could do like I did last week and do a pencil mark. But I'll just put a little bit because if I have to, I'll flip this over. Y'all know I like two chances, but that'll kind of hold it still for the moment. I'm going to take the next bundle I'm using. It's called Peaceful Season. And this is a great bundle because it has so many beautiful words. And then you have this awesome die set with it. So I love that you have the solid Christmas with the detail Christmas you can put on top. But a lot of these words fit in the middle here. And then you can actually put ribbon on it. Let me show you that one. I did mark these in a calendar because I wanted to show you the samples. So this is on page 24. But see how you can loop the ribbon through the openings of the dies or have it go around the card? I really, really like that. And then all these here, when you look at the stamp set, all of those fit into the dies, the ones that are shaded. And that was just a happy mistake. I actually thought, oh, let me put these two together. So I almost got a window inside. So you could stamp something in there and have this popped up with your ribbon. The possibilities are endless. So I'm going to take from there Peace and Joy. And I wanted to try it in the early espresso this time. I like the brown with the red and the green. So here I will take Peace and Joy. And I'm going to, the best I can when I'm looking at it, Put that on the top there. So here I have peace and joy. And then I'm going to show you a fun trick. The next bundle, I needed some holly leaves. So let me show you that. This is a bundle on page 44. So this is hang an ornament. And this one's really cool. Basically, I just started playing with it, so I haven't played much. But basically, you stamp your ornament, and then when you put the die, when you cut it with the die, it's not all the way through. But what you do is you can pop that out and use it as a real ornament. So here's one. I had actually stamped it, then I embossed it. So it would be on your card like this, but then they can pry it out, and they have an ornament for the tree. Very cute. But what I needed was this holly leaf right there. So I am going to take the garden green, and I will do some, well, let me see how I want to do this. Okay, I went further than I wanted. Let me see here. Okay, I'll go like this. We're just going to make it work. So I have my holly, but then I was going to show you a fun way to do the berries. It does have a berry stamp in there, but if you take your real red and you just take a brand new eraser. Remember, I was telling you last week, they're not good for erasing, these little red ones, but for some crazy reason, they are great for making berries. So there's my berries. Not as lined up as I like, but I like it. But keep in mind, you can take this with different colors and create a background. I mean, how fun would that be? It doesn't have to be just berries. You get a perfect circle pretty much every time. And note to self, next time I would probably do the berries first and then make my holly come off of that. But it's all good. So that's my inside. Yay, it works. So let me put my adhesive on here to make sure it really sticks in there. So who's ever stamped with a pencil before? Literally. Let me know if you have. It's fun. So again, I just wanted to see, the reason I was waiting is I really see no problem with putting the card there and putting your card like this. I think it's fine. But since y'all are my guinea pigs and I want to try it, I thought, well, what if we put this here like so? It's a little bit smaller. It's the same size as the front. And then I stamped on it. So let me see what that looks like. So in here we have wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. Okay, so let's give that a go. And this way it has a saying. My mom always says she likes cards with sayings because then she doesn't have to write much. And really, if you're using a gift card, you don't have to say much. You're going to love it just like it is. So right up here, wishing you all the things that warm your heart and lift your spirits. And I also could have put that here. Let me see. Because when I put that in, you don't see it as much. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm going to do that. I would much rather have it on this side where they don't see it. So it would come like that. Experience is a great teacher. Okay. Get it straight. I like that better. Okay. So now to make this the gift card holder, I'm going to crease it really well. And I'm just going to take my liquid glue, good old Tombow liquid glue, very strong, and just put a line at the top and the bottom. That's all you need. And then I'll close it and just hold it for a moment. So what do y'all think? What you thinking so far? Make it a card or a gift card? Yeah, Terry, they are cool dies. I'm glad you have them. I think you're really going to love them. And so, hey, Renee, glad you're here. And hey, Barbara. Okay, so I think I'll like that better. So when I go to close this, I'll just take this piece here, put it on. But I like the idea you can kind of take the same measurements and either make it a card, you know, folded card or special fold. So I'll just put that on there. I will slide my American Express in here. And that, my friends, is your card. So you can have it like this, or you can make just a card. Which one do you prefer? The card or the gift card? I'll give you just a minute for you get your comments. Debbie loves them both. Gotta run. Thanks for watching, Debbie. Isabel, thanks for watching. Robin likes the gift card. I thought you might like it, Robin. Oh, good. Diane said this set will go on her next order, and she loves them both. I really like it because, again, I saw the opportunity to do different techniques with the open Christmas tree. So there again, if you're watching, I will give one of the cards away next week. So I'll probably let me know. When you text me, let me know. I'll draw someone's name. If you would like or share or give me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. And if you do that, please leave it in the comments, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. And I will draw somebody's name and you will get the gift card next week. But already we had, from the last two videos, we had Linda Lace. Send me your information, your address, and I will mail that to you. It's last week. And then Deborah Markunis. If you will send me your address, I'll give you the window sheet card that we made last week. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. And let me see. So Gwen did just order it. She's waiting for it to arrive. Good. Good. We already have a project to start with, Gwen. But just don't forget, Stampin' Up! Did just do a refresh on their clearance rack yesterday. So a lot of items that we have had from the past have been drastically marked down. It's always a great way to save on some designer papers and embellishments. They got a little bit of everything on there. So thanks for joining me. I will see you all again. And can you believe it will be October when I see you next Wednesday? That's just crazy, crazy, crazy. But that's just how life goes. So enjoy yourselves. Get out and do something. Don't put anything off in this lifetime because Lord knows it is going fast. Yeah, I saw that, Robin. Robin said she ordered her boxes for Nurses Week yesterday. I saw that. Robin makes boxes for the nurses. And she makes, how many do you make, Robin? You make a bunch of them. And every year they're different. And she fills them with like awesome candy. No cheap stuff for her. Woo! Robin makes 120 boxes. Good for you, Robin. I can just imagine how special they feel when they get that, just knowing how appreciated they are. Robin was a nurse herself, and she's an awesome stamper. So thanks for doing that, Robin. You're making a difference. Oh, Lisa, you're certainly welcome. Thank you for ordering. She said thanks for her lovely surprise yesterday. Everybody who orders, I always send them a hand-stamped card and a note. I appreciate them so much. Melinda, glad you are here. And again, Lisa, thanks for your order. So I got to run. I'm going to be doing some stamping this afternoon, getting some more customer thank you cards out. But I hope you all have a blessed day, and I will see you next Wednesday. Take care now. And make sure you do something creative. Bye-bye.